What's going on, fellow Predator fans? This is Solid Dave Snake, wrapping up my action figure comparison reviews of Neca's Predator Series 13 Kenner Tribute Series, comparing this series' Scavage Predator to Kenner's original 1993 Scavage Predator. And there are a lot of really neat similarities between these two figures. Neca once again did a great job doing a throwback action figure based off of these old Kenner Predators. However, it is missing one big thing that the original came with. And we'll just go over the accessories first, just like in my previous action figure comparisons. This old Scavage Predator came with this big net launcher. Well, it's not necessarily a net. It fires a rope off of these two spears. And if you can tell, he has that main skull spear right in the middle, which is removable. So that is one accessory that is familiar between these two. But while I have this all loaded up, might as well give it a test shot. We'll try to hit his bigger brother here, and it does fire pretty hard. So let's give it a shot. You just push this middle button right here, and oh, perfect. Wrapped around him and everything. So it fires really hard, just like the missile on that cracked tusk Predator that I showed in my previous video, which I have done reviews on this entire series now. So just go back in my uploads and it'll be the previous videos of the cracked tusk and Renegade Predator. So that's pretty neat that it fired that, and it would have been neat to seen some kind of net launcher made for this newer Predator. However, it would have been a really big piece, so I could see why Neca would skip it. But I'll give you a little closer look at this old Kenner one before we take the staff off and do comparisons on it. But it's got two handles here, and it's got this little C-clamp that you put around his waist, which is actually on a ball joint, so you can rotate it around. And you can just pull the skull staff right out. And I'll set that aside, and we'll compare the skull staff that the new Neca Scavage comes with. And he holds on to it really tight. It's hard to get it out of there. There we go. We got them both out. And I think Neca did a really good job representing this in newer action figure form. He even kept the same kind of bottom with the ball and the four almost fletching looking parts of a spear here. The fletchings on an arrow, that's what it reminds me of. The back end of an arrow. That's what it looks like on the bottom of the spear. Even has the hand guard, although with a much more detailed and stylized look on the Neca one. And the skull, which on the old one has part of the spine as part of the staff, but on the new one, it's on the outside of the staff and wraps around, which is really cool. I like that. And also that it's actually a skull stuck on a spear on the Neca one. I like how they did that. It's really neat. Because this is the old Kenner Predator staff is basically just a staff, where this one is a spear. So it can actually be used as a weapon. So really neat. I like those two compared to each other. I thought Neca did a great job doing that. Now, the other accessory that they both come with is a removable mask. Whereas the previous two figures in this line, the Cracked Tusk and Renegade, did not have removable masks like their original Kenner counterparts. This one does. And this Kenner mask was the one that would never want to stay on that well. The concept of it being held on is through these little holes in the mask, putting the mandibles of the outer mouth through there. And it never really held as tight as the other Kenner Predators. It would just kind of want to fall off. I mean, the ever so slightest shake or touch will make it fall. But that Kenner Predator did have a neat face underneath. I like that. And I really like Neca's design off of this mask. I like how they redid it. Has that kind of beetle-like look to the top, that almost scarab look. And of course with the Neca one we get a little extra paint detail. Little black wash over that silver and the red eyes. And it's nice how it fits over. And both have a little sculpted detail inside as well. The Neca one looks really nice inside. Even has the eyes painted inside here. So that's really nice attention to detail there. So excellent job with the mask. Neca recreating that classic Kenner Scavage look. And now we'll just compare these two figures overall. We'll start off with the paint, because the new Neca one does use a lot darker tone of a green. And this is the original Scavage Predator, and I know they did a repaint on it on the Night Storm, which they had that Neca Predator, that Neca Kenner Tribute Predator back in Series 10, which was basically just a black paint job on this old Kenner Predator. Whenever Kenner repainted it, it was basically just all black and a little orange, and Neca has already redone that one. However, this original release of the Scavage Predator also had a slightly different run with a little bit of a darker green paint job, which may be represented by this a little better. But this is the original one out of the very first series ever released by Kenner. Had this in the cracked tusk, and the Renegade was before that. So we do get a darker green on the Neca one, but it is still portrayed pretty well. Pretty good representation of this old Kenner one, and especially with the silver of the armor. That is pretty much identical. They have all the armor silver on this new Neca Scavage, except for right along the waist area. He has some gold, and they did that with the new Neca one, which is nice. I like that. And they actually have a couple other little different painted gold painted spots, like here on the wrist blade and down on the leg there's a little spot. So they added little hints of it throughout on the chest plate as well, whereas this old one did not do that. And the hair color is exactly the same. It's red, although the red on the Neca is almost a little more blood red. And on this old Kenner one, it's really long, a lot longer, and is tied in a ponytail back here, whereas this one is not. So I find that a little funny. Would have been neat if they would have added a ponytail on this new Neca one. So overall, the paint scheme is a lot darker of a green on this new Neca one, but you can tell that it is basically supposed to be that same Predator with the paint job. Now, look-wise, overall, this Neca Scavage Predator does use the Berserker body mold, all the way back from that original Series 1 Neca Predator line. It uses that same basic body mold and has the same armor parts as the Night Storm Predator from Series 10. However, the gauntlets are different from that Night Storm. They tried to recreate the same blades on this old original Kenner Predator, which I really like. They're a lot more sleek looking, a lot more like the normal Predator wrist blades off the movies, although longer, which I like that. And the shoulder cannon looks a lot similar on both. I really like how they did that. One of the only things that's missing armor wise on this new Neca Predator compared to the old is a chain going down along the torso. It would have been nice if they would have added that in, maybe connecting to this back piece like the old Kenner Predator has. But all in all, the armor is in all the same spots on the old and the new. Even the boots almost look the same. So I really like that look. And on the back, of course, the only thing that I really would have wished Neca would have done with this newer version is add the ponytail in, like I already said. That would have been neat. But all in all, I really like this Scavage Predator. It This original Kenner Scavage Predator wasn't my most favorite Predator back then, but it's got to be the same case in this new one. This is my least favorite one out of this series, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good figure. I'm just ready to see some more updated Predator molds in the future. This Berserker mold has gotten a little stale to me over time, and if you want to see the articulation for him, check out my review of the Nightstorm Predator, because he has the exact same articulation. So, alright guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this new Neca Predator tribute, Kenner tribute series as much as I did, and I look forward to more in the future. So, alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.